Welcome back to the news at 10. The Etisalat Employee Career Counselling Programme has moved its train to District 5 of the Lagos State Education Board to help secondary school students in that district plan on what they hope to become in future. Now, Etisalat Nigeria's Chief Executive Officer, represented by the Director, Leadership and Organisation Development, Rabi Isma, says the telecoms giant remains committed to building self-confidence among students to make them socially responsible adults.
Secondary school students from 8 schools under the Lagos Education District 5. The teachers and principals all gathered to listen to seasoned professionals from telecoms giant Etisalat Nigeria, who have simply volunteered to positively influence the students. For the students, this is a crucial stage in their lives when thoughts of a future career fill their heads. But not to worry, here are some tidbits from the volunteers.
It is important for you to know the courses that you need to pass very well for the career that you have chosen or for the area that you have chosen to pursue.
What you have to remember as you change is at the bottom of every job you have is a problem. And you just have to be able to solve it. With your work, with your school, your education, and with all these skills, being able to communicate, being able to adapt, you can be anything you want.
The students no doubt learnt a couple of things, and their guardians are grateful.
People had this belief that medicine was a very hard subject, very hard course to study. But yeah, they've been able to break it down that if you're determined and hardworking, you can be whatever you want to be in life.
What they are doing is for themselves. Because when these children go out, they go to higher institution, they graduate, they are coming to the companies to work.
For Etisalat, this initiative goes beyond being just socially responsible and targets sustainable development in communities where it operates.
Letting them know that it's okay not to be sure what they want to be at this point, but also giving them a wealth of knowledge and information that they need to be able to look inwards into who they really are and where they want to go, and to support them along the way.
Etisalat's partners, the Lagos Empowerment and Resource Network, has also revealed that the initiative is yielding significant results in the state. Henry Ogunjimi, Channels Television News.
Good evening, welcome to Business News. I am Adeshewa Josh. Ahead of the extension of the central bank's cashless policy to 30 other states of the Federation on Tuesday, July the 1st, Nigerians have begun to express their concerns. While most people are worried about the charges that surround the new policy, they urge the CBN to eradicate such charges to avoid putting off depositors.
Looking at it from every other part of the world, it's only natural that after a test run that you go viral, like in the other 36 states. I think it's a great idea, and charging the fees, like reducing the fees or removing completely. The banks are making a lot of money, so I think they should actually be responsible for those fees and not charge it to the individuals. This will encourage people to use their cards and actually adopt the cashless policy.
I do a lot of transfer using my banking platforms, and I see these things as a good opportunity for me. But the other effect to it is that I see a lot of tariff or a lot of charges coming from the banks. So imagine I'm going to do transfers like 10 times in a day, which means that I'm going to spend something close to at least like a 1,500 extra on every transfer I do. So you can imagine that happening to my own account. So people would first have the rebellious approach to it because of all those extra charges the banks are putting in there.
Well, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, is calling on the Central Bank of Nigeria to give prompt attention to rising inflation rate. According to the Chamber, the present state of the economy is compelling more Nigerians to open up businesses and increase their chances of seeking credit facilities. The Vice President of the Chamber, Mr. Babatunde Ruwashe, also explains how some government policies are affecting the Consumer Price Index.
In an inflationary economy, the rate of interest can never fall below the inflationary rate. So this is where we think we need to attack inflation first, those factors that are promoting inflation in our economy. I take, for instance, the motor vehicle sector now. We've had a 35% increase in duty, which means people will pay more for those vehicles. The cost of those in that sector will also increase. Their rate will increase. This will promote inflation. For as long as our economy has not developed to a stage where we are producers of things we need locally, we will be importing inflation.
The recent delisting of 23 quoted companies from the Nigerian Stock Exchange has been described as a punitive measure. And this is according to stockbrokers at the local bourse, who explain that underperformance and lack of transparency on the part of the companies is responsible for the technical suspension. To the Nigerian Stock Exchange now, where on the last day at the bourse, the market closed bullish, adding 1.09% to its all-share index. Temple Ashaju tells us more.
Hello again and welcome to this Talk Market Report. The equity market had a turnaround from yesterday's bearish trades to close on the side by 1.09% at 42,187.62. The market capitalization also went up, closing at 13.9 trillion naira. Now, Nestle Nigeria PLC topped the list of gainers for the day, adding 48 naira 90 kobo to its share price. Guinness followed with 10 naira 79 kobo gains, and then Dangote Cement, one of the industrial stocks, now earned 5 naira in its share price. On the flip side, the oil and gas stocks are still leading the pack, with Forte Oil maintaining the #1 position like it did yesterday. Corn Oil followed, shedding 2 naira 40 kobo of its share price, while Champions PLC made the third on the list. Investors traded more on the shares of First Bank Holdings Nigeria PLC, WAPIC, and Wando PLC. Now, at the rung of the bell, a total of 361.2 million shares had been exchanged at 4.9 billion naira. And all those transactions transpired in 4,789 deals. That's it on the Stock Market Report. I am Temple Ashaju.
And that's business news this hour. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Super Eagles focus on World Cup second round game against France following settlement of match bonus row with the NFF. That's on sports. Please join us again.